All right, Shalom Akim, Shalom. Let's start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Racha Kudash. That belongs to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone who teach well and rule well. And Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Zakar from the Great Millstone Montreal branch. And I want to go into this topic of being a respecter of person. Okay, and the scriptures often goes into how the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, is not a respecter of person, and how we are not supposed to be uh, a respecters of person, as far as, for instance, executing judgment. Okay. This is Leviticus 19 and verse 15. It says here, "Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty, but in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor." Okay, so judgment is supposed to be executed righteously. Okay, you're not supposed to show favor to somebody because of their appearance, because of their status. You're showing them favor and being disfavorable or unfavorable to another person because of, they're poor, or, I don't know, something you don't like about them. But, judgment needs to be correct. Okay, and that's all around, because Yahweh Bashim Yoshai is not a respecter of persons. The scriptures talk about how the Lord looks at the inner man, okay, rather than the outward. Okay. This is in the book of 1 Samuel. First Samuel 16 and verse 7 says, "But the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, nor on the height of his stature, because I have refused him." All right. "For the Lord Yahweh seeth not as man seeth, for man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Lord Yahweh looketh on the heart." Okay. Looks how the mind of a man is spirit. Okay. All right. The Lord's not going to be, impressed because of a man's appearance, or he's not going to pervert judgment because of a man's, his countenance. No. Okay. The Lord looks in a man's heart, and looks at his spirit. Okay. That's why he says, you have to judge righteous judgment. In the book of John 7 and verse 24, it says here, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." Okay. So, because let's say a man has many riches, that doesn't mean you have to be favorable unto him if he's, if he's wicked, man. I'm just giving an example, man. Okay, you gotta execute proper judgment, no matter person's status or appearance. Okay. Um, this is Deuteronomy 1 and verse 17. "Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be. Ye shall hear the small as well as the great." Okay. No matter one's status, man. Okay. "Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is the most high." Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. Okay? Okay? So, and that goes also into, the brothers in the camp. Okay? The brothers around you, you know, you might have a brother that's more I guess more reserved or less outspoken, well, or more timid. He might seem maybe weaker in the flesh. That doesn't mean that you are to be less favorable to that brother or disregard that brother because of his countenance, or the way he speaks, or just his personality is different. You still have to hear him out. Okay, you still have to, if he's if he's of a higher rank as far as in the camp. If he's of a higher rank, you still have to honor that brother. That brother, you still have to, be in order. Okay, you have to still have to obey the instructions, man, according to wisdom. Okay, everything is about this truth. Things have to be done in order, man. Okay, in the ministry, things have to be done in order. Okay, you can't be a respecter of person, because you know, oh, I don't know, he's second in command, third in command. Uh, I'm not gonna listen to him because he's not first in command. For instance, your whole demeanor changes because, let's say, the head of the camp is not present. Now this brother is in charge, or I'm not going to listen to him. I'm going to do my own thing. That's not how it works, man. There's still order. Yahweh Bashmi Shai is still watching, man. Okay, we have to keep remembering that we are being tested every day. Okay, Yahweh Bashmi Shai is trying our hearts, man. Okay, that's what the scripture says. Okay. Jeremiah 17 and verse 10. I, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to bring that example, or that's that you can be a respecter of person by you having showing more respect to a brother that's of a higher rank than another brother. Okay, it doesn't matter which rank. Listen, if a brother's in the ministry is one of Yahweh Bashmi Shai's men, okay, you know, and there's still an order that we have to follow. Okay, um, just know that Yahweh Bashmi Shai is watching everything, man. It said that let's go to the book of, say, Matthew 20, verse and verse 25. But Yahushai called them unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister, and whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. Okay, we in a sense, to the point that we all have to remain humble. Okay, We all have to remain humble. Um, him that is greatest, it says it, and him and whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Okay, because at the end of the day, we're all seeking for that penny. We're all going to receive that penny of the kingdom. Now we do understand that there's order. There's still an order. Okay, in the camps, you know you honor those that have been in the truth longer than you. You gotta show order. You have to honor that. Um, but the point I'm bringing is that we are all servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. That's what I want to bring up. We're all servants of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So you can't be a respecter of person because of that's the head of the camp. So I'm gonna act a certain way with him. But then when the younger brothers in the camp or another brothers in the camp, or I'm not gonna respect that brother. No, it doesn't work like that, man. Okay, all right. We can't be hypocrites, in this thing. This is the book of St. Matthew 18 and verse 3. I'll start at verse 1. At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So, humbleness, okay, being humble, humility, that those are key, man. Okay, the scriptures talk about um, the great commandments is treating a brother as yourself. Okay, loving thy brother as thyself. Okay, verse 5, and whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. You see? So you don't want to offend one of the Yahweh Shem Yahushai's men. You don't want to do that, man. Okay? Okay? Woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. Okay? Alright, so again, you don't want to be a respective person. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not a respective person. Even as far as David, the beloved of Yahweh, okay, the beloved of Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, the Lord didn't have respect of person because of David, towards David, towards David. David sinned and he received the punishment for his sins. Okay, you know, it says David was a man after the Most High's heart. He still received punishment for his sins. Okay, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was perfect when he walked on the earth. He still had to um, pay for the sins that he committed as Solomon. Okay, because you read the book of I believe it's 2 Samuel, the 7th chapter, and verse 13 says, "He shall build an house for my name." Right, this was a prophecy that was supposed to come on the son of David. Okay, it says, "He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men." Okay, in which Solomon did commit iniquity. Okay, he built temples for his women. Okay, temples of different strange gods for his women. You know, committed idolatry, a, a serious offense. But did he pay for this offense in his lifetime? No, he slept with his fathers. Okay, but he paid for them when he came back as Yahweh Shai. Okay, which proves that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Yahweh is not a respecter of person. Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 15, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. Okay, so that's what happened, man. Okay, so even towards the Son, Yahweh was not a respective person. Okay, though Yahweh Shah was perfect, he still had to pay for the sins of the past that he's committed in the past. Okay, as Solomon. Okay, Adam. Okay, so how much more us, man? Or whether we have to follow that same example of not being a respective person, man. It says that concerning Yahweh Shai, it said that it pleased the Father to bruise him. Okay, this is the book of James 2 and verse 9. But if ye have respect to persons, ye commit sin and are convinced of the law as transgressors. Okay, so it's a sin to be a respective person. Okay, to have respective persons. Romans 2 and 11, for there is no respective person with the Most High. Colossians 3 and 25, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respective persons. All right. 1 Peter 1 and 17, and if ye call on the Father, who without respect of persons judgeth according to every man's work, pass the time of your sojourning here in fear. Okay. Yeah, so we have to fear, man. Okay. The Lord is going to judge every man according to his works. We cannot be hypocrites. We have to remain in order. We have to love the brotherhood, okay, and treat each other with respect, man. There's the respect that we are due to each other, okay, as we have all been called by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, okay, and Lord willing, we can endure unto the end, okay. The elect will endure unto the end. Now, who is the elect? Only time will tell, okay. But in the meantime, you cannot be respective of persons toward another, okay, and even in general, okay. All right, you know. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Okay, um, I'm gonna end off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Hakudash. That belongs to the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect. Yahweh Shabbat.